Hello world, Lisa Friedrichsen, your friend and computer science professor with another short screencast about Access forms. In this screencast, we're going to talk about how to create a form. Right now we're in the Northwind database. We're looking at the customer's form. That one was pre-created by Microsoft to give us an example of what a form looks like. But let's go ahead and close it and create our own forms. Now when we go to the Create tab of the ribbon, we see all of our creation tools. We can create tables, queries, forms, reports, macros, and modules. Now, unlike tables and queries where I feel very firmly that we go into design view and create our tables from scratch, picking all of our field names and all of our data types very specifically, filling out our properties, and as well as the queries where we really want to master how to create queries in query design view so that we have full control over our queries, since those are answers to management questions that we need to master. When we're creating forms and reports, I feel strongly that we start with wizards for productivity purposes. So for tables and queries, I go right into design view, but for forms and reports, I go through the wizards. And here's why. There are many different form creation tools. Let's just look at these. If I click the Form Design View button, I go into Form Design View where I now can create the form. I very rarely do this because if I go to the Design tab, now I can start adding my controls. I can start adding in my labels and my text boxes. It's a very tedious process to get even one small form. Similarly, if I go into blank form, it's simply a blank form in layout view versus design view. So when we have a form, there's no purpose in working with a form with no controls. So I have to go into layout view or into design view to add those controls. But again, I find adding them from scratch with just a blank palette is an extremely tedious process. On the Create tab, I really do not use the form design nor the blank form tool whatsoever. Create a blank form in layout view or in design view. I similarly do not really use the form button because here's what the form button does. Select a query. I'll open up products by company. I've got 2,155 records. What the form tool will do is create a form based on that same 2,155 records and then show you one record at a time with the labels on the left and the text boxes on the right. And that's fine. It's a start. At least we have some controls now we could use to modify in design view or in layout view where I can move things around from left to right a little bit. The field list is also automatically opening up. It's showing you the fields that were in that query or table that you selected when you created the form. I'm going to go ahead and close that and give me a little bit more design view here. That's a little bit better in that it does create something for you to start with, and then you can go into design view and layout view and make your modifications. But I'm going to go ahead and close that without saving it as well. I also find that I very rarely use this form button. So these first three form creation buttons I very rarely use because this is the one that I really like, the form wizard. It gives me a handful of options as I'm creating that form to select so that I can control how the initial form is going to look, and then I further modify it in design view and layout view. The other form creation tools create forms that are used for other purposes that we'll explore in later YouTubes. They're rare as compared to the forms you'll need to create to fill the data for all your tables, which you'll use this Form Wizard button. Let's use the Form Wizard button and let's see how this works. So again, I have the ability to select any table or any query that I want. I'm going to go ahead and choose Products by Company again. I can select any of these fields or all of the fields in whatever order I want. It gives me a question that allows me to choose the layout for the form. Columnar shows me one record per screen. Go with columnar, which puts the labels on the left and the text boxes on the right. And what title do I want for my form? I'm going to go with the Products by Company title, and then I'll finish. So here we have an opening form that was created using the Form Wizard. It's very basic. It's got a basic title, Products by Company. It's got some labels to describe the text boxes. And then I can go into design view and decide some additional formatting. For example, I always want my labels to be really sharp black and right aligned so they're really close to their text boxes. Let's get this label up here. Let's make it sharp black too. And right away, I think I've improved the readability of my form a little bit simply by changing text color and alignment. Let's see how that looks. Save and look at it in form view. Just like our other objects, Forms have multiple views in which you can do different things. Form view is used to view and edit and change the data. Design view is used to modify and format the controls or add new controls. And then layout view is used for minor modifications, such as it doesn't look like I need this much room for my text boxes, so I'll resize my text boxes in layout view. Layout view allows you to modify the controls while seeing the data. So for resizing purposes, layout view can be very handy. It also doesn't need to be quite so wide. But when I want to work with the data, I've got to go back to form view, because that's the only view that allows me to modify information in those text boxes. So those are the form creation tools. Thank you.